You're listening to ADHD Support Talk. ADHD Support Talk is brought to you by ADDclasses.com. Visit www.addclasses.com to sign up for helpful online events and resources today. Well, hello and welcome back to ADHD Support Talk. I am Lynne Edris and I'm a productivity and ADHD coach. For nearly 20 years now, I've empowered professionals from around the world to take control of their time and their lives so that they can fulfill their potential and have more time and energy for what matters most to them. I'm also proud to be your co-host here at ADHD Support Talk, which is the longest running podcast exclusively for adults with ADHD. And I'm excited to share that we were just voted one of the top podcasts for adults with ADHD by Million Podcasts. So for those of you who have listened and liked and shared our shows and rated us on iTunes and other platforms, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because the more people like you who listen, share, and give us reviews, the easier it is for more people to find the help and support they need. And guys, I get it. I'm a woman with ADHD myself, so I've been where so many of my clients are. I've gone from living in a constant state of chaos and overwhelm and underperformance to live a life of more success and fulfillment that I really dreamed was possible for me at one time. And I know you can have that same success yourself. You can learn more about me and what I do and the programs and services I offer at www.coachingadvantages.com. So today I want to talk about a very important topic for so many of us, and that's sleep struggles. And I've been there. Yes, I know the struggle of wanting to do more, do better, and sleep more, only to find myself cleaning out my inbox next to an empty glass of water at 1:48 a.m., fully aware that I've got an 8:30 meeting. So if you've ever laid in bed swearing you're going to get to sleep earlier tomorrow and then didn't, you're in the right place. So I want to talk about why we can't go to bed when we intend to and maybe even really want to, and what we can actually do about it. So let's start here. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You don't have some deep personality flaw that prevents you from brushing your teeth and getting under the covers like a responsible adult. It's much more complex than most of us really look at. And no, telling yourself just try harder probably isn't going to cut it. And if it were that easy, you wouldn't be listening to me right now, right? ADHD and sleep have a complicated relationship. And for a lot of us, going to bed is way harder than it is for other people and way harder than it needs to be. And not because we don't want to. I mean, sleep is great. I love to sleep. Why? Well, for many of us with ADHD, it's a combo platter of issues. First, there's time blindness. Just 5 more minutes turning into an entire Netflix docuseries. Then there's that infamous second wind that kicks in just as the rest of the house goes to sleep, and the pressure of making up for lost time when we didn't get enough done during the day, and that big old pile of mental spaghetti that gets louder when we finally slow down. Let's be honest, for a lot of my clients, and myself sometimes, staying up late is the only time they feel calm, uninterrupted, and in control. And I think it can feel absolutely glorious. I call this the peaceful brain rebellion. All day long, it's work and meetings and texts and responsibilities, decision after decision, demand upon demand. But once the rest of the world is in bed, you're finally alone, it's quiet. Nobody needs anything from you. So what do? We cling to that time like a tired toddler with a favorite blanket. Sometimes we scroll, sometimes we organize the Tupperware cabinet, maybe just the lids. Sometimes we paint the dining room at midnight because it suddenly feels urgent. And yes, that's a real story. And yes, it's mine. And yes, it wasn't just a one-time thing for me. And then we wonder why the next morning we're dragging through the day with the energy of a pile of mashed potatoes and the patience of a flea and the focus of a squirrel. And we swear that tonight and from now on, we're going to do better. And maybe we do better tonight. Then we find ourselves back in that old familiar pattern again and feeling crappy about it, right? So yeah, we know sleep is important. We hear it everywhere. We read about it. We feel it in our bones and in our brains the next day when we don't get enough. And yet we're still up too late too often. This is a classic example of what I call intention action gap, right? So that's what so many of us with ADHD wrestle with daily. We intend to go to bed on time. We want to go to bed on time. But when it comes to actually doing it, that's where it all falls apart. So let's be real. By the time we're supposed to be making that smart, responsible, grown-up decision to go to bed, our executive functions are often totally depleted. That part of our brain that's supposed to help us make wise choices, it's asleep at the wheel, like almost literally. And at that point, we have the impulse control of a 3-year-old who's already stayed up too late. Just one more episode, just one more email, just one more snack, or reel, or sock that needs to find its match, or Tupperware container that needs to find a lid. There's a reason we don't leave toddlers in charge of their own bedtimes or the dessert bar at the buffet when they're past bedtime. But the good news is you can make this easier on yourself. You can make sleep more likely, and you can absolutely make your mornings feel better than a brain-fogged pile of mashed potatoes. So let me give you a few quick ADHD-friendly tips to help you start improving your nights and your next day. Number 1, catch yourself before the point of no return. Most of us have that window of time when we could still make the smart choice to go to bed. But once we blow past that window, it's like trying to wrestle that overtired toddler out of a ball pit, right? It's not going to go well. So your job, start noticing when your energy dips and use that as your cue. Set an alarm or a phone reminder. Mine literally says, time to protect tomorrow's brain. And I've learned the hard way that my personal point of no return is around 8:30 p.m., even though I don't go to bed until 11:30, sometimes a little bit later. If I wander into my office after that 8:30 point of no return, I become one with my chair and I re-enter some productivity vortex, and no good comes from that. Okay, number 1, catch yourself before your point of no return. It may be much earlier than you think. Number 2, create a drop dead routine. This is your no thinking required emergency backup plan. Think of it as the bedtime version of autopilot. A few simple steps, maybe brushing your teeth, shutting down your electronics, and climbing into bed with a boring book. That's it. The fewer decisions you need to make, the better. Leave a checklist in the bathroom or next to your bed. Seriously, I had for years. Okay, so number 2 is to create a drop dead routine, a brainless autopilot, get yourself into bed, quick routine when you really need it the most. And then number 3, avoid your slippery slopes. You know what they are. Those activities that seem innocent but always lead you down a rabbit hole. For me, again, sitting in my office chair or just checking one more thing online. For some of my clients, it's social media or that one game on their phone or starting a quick project or reading one chapter of a book that they find really interesting. Get creative. Put some physical barriers between you and your slippery slope. I actually once put caution tape that I found in my son's play detective kit across my office chair arms to remind myself not to sit there at night, because once I'm in that chair, the night is lost. All right, so number 3, avoid your slippery slopes. Number 4, give yourself something to look forward to. We ADHDers aren't always great at doing things because we should, right? But if there's something rewarding, something we want, waiting for us, we're more likely to follow through. If it's something we are looking forward to or moving toward, it's easier for us. Maybe it's a cozy book, a podcast, a warm bath, a snuggly blanket, a meditation, or something a little more fun. Maybe it's sex. Make it appealing. Make it something you do for yourself, not to yourself. That's so important. And listen, guys, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Better is always the goal, always. Improving your sleep doesn't mean becoming a robot who powers down at 9 p.m. on the dot every night. It means closing the intention-action gap a little more all the time, supporting yourself better, being more aware, more prepared, and more forgiving of yourself when you stumble so that you can learn about what works, what doesn't work, and keep improving your life all the time. You deserve rest. You deserve care. And I promise, when you get more sleep, everything gets easier. So thanks for hanging out with me today. And hey, if this episode resonated, check out my latest blog post on the same topic over at coachingadvantages.com for more tips and fun stories I didn't have time to share here. And hey, if it's 2 a.m. where you are right now and you're still listening, go to bed. You'll thank yourself tomorrow. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself. Again, I'm Coach Lynne Edris at coachingadvantages.com.